Welcome to our last video of the year. We are heading into Queen's Comic Party Brooklyn Invasion. It's a father-daughter one.
Yes.
Hopefully Cassidy's going to buy me Fantastic Four #1 again.
Don't have that much money with me.
But this is our last haul video of the year. So we hope that you have enjoyed all our haul videos and that you enjoy this one. Make sure you like and subscribe and enjoy this episode.
If I have something right in front of you, hey kids, you may like it.
So the whole back room, hey, what's up, brother? The whole back room is jammed with stuff now. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us as we dive into the dollar bins at Queen's Comic Party Brooklyn Invasion and see if Cassidy and I can find any hidden gems hidden inside the dollar bins.
Welcome back to Collector's Confessions, where we're all about the comic book collecting and the thrill of the hunt. Today we're excited to take you along to our trip to Queen's Comic Book Party, which was actually in Brooklyn this time, where we spent a lot of time digging through dollar bins in search of some amazing deals and hidden gems. You guys know how much we love scoring big at comic book events, and let's see if we did just that.
You know, one of the biggest challenges about finding valuable comics at conventions like this is sifting through the sheer volume of options. There are a lot of comics at Queen's Comic Party. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the sea of low-priced comics, and that's all part of the fun, right? Isn't that why we go to comic conventions?
I mean, and this one is mostly comics.
Almost exclusively comics. They had some other things this time. They had some of these glass things, but we've never seen
Did we
those
buy
before.
anything other than just comics?
You'll have to see. The thrill of the hunt is what makes all of this worth it for us. I mean, who doesn't love the rush of adrenaline when you find a really valuable comic that you've been looking for hidden inside a dollar bin? It's stuff like that which keeps us coming back month after month to the Queen's Comic Party. We're always on the lookout for our next big score. And I know we are not alone. There are plenty of other collectors out there who share our passion for the hunt. That's what makes these small conventions so great, because you never know what you're going to find or who you're going to meet along the way.
But enough about that. Let's get to the good stuff. Today's haul is basically all about digging through dollar bins and seeing what kind of treasures we can uncover. I've heard rumors of some amazing deals to be had. So let's see if we can make some magic happen.
As we walked into the Queen's Comic Book Party, you were immediately struck by the electric atmosphere. There was a buzz in the air, with the collectors of all ages scouring the tables for the next big find. We saw rows upon rows of comic books, stacked high and wide with vendors calling out deals left and right. It was like a treasure hunter's paradise. The first thing I noticed was the sheer variety of comics on display. The wall books were filled with comic books vintage and new, Spider-Man, The Avengers, Batman, or even some obscure indie titles like Skateman. There were anime fans digging through the manga section, while others were zeroing in on more rare and hard-to-find collectibles. One vendor in particular caught my eye. He had an entire table dedicated to nothing but dollar bins, with signs promising rare issues and hidden gems inside. We were like some kids in a candy store, rummaging through the boxes and pulling out all sorts of interesting titles. Let's look at some of the great wall books Queen's Comic Party had to offer.
also, if you've been following along with us to our comic hauls, we've talked about how we really only see mainly Marvel comics in the dollar bins. Not much DC, even though we hunt for a lot of DC titles. But at this Queen's Party, we saw a lot of DC. Maybe there was a little more Marvel, but I would say through what we saw, it was a pretty even split, and we did get a lot more DC titles than usual, so I was very happy about that we saw a lot more
As was
DC.
I, because most of the DC we're buying are for my collection anyway. One of the highlights of our experience is always the people there. We love the vendors at Queen's Comic Party. There's the same guys we see month after month, and we're becoming very friendly with them, so it's kind of a fun thing for us. And as a matter of fact, we ran into another YouTuber, Pop Comics, and we were chatting with him for a little while. And also, friend of the show, Ian, had a bunch of Skateman comic books because him and Brian have been in a little friendly competition to see who could own the most Skateman comics. I think Ian has given up because he was selling 3 different copies. Brian didn't come with us. I don't remember why.
Did somebody mention Skateman? Skateman was a 1983 comic book. It was supposed to be a series, but it actually only got 1 issue. It was written and illustrated by the legendary Neil Adams and is regarded by a lot of critics and comic book fans as one of the worst comic books ever made. Now, all absolute statements are difficult to prove. Is it the very worst comic that was ever produced? I'm not so sure about that. I've read worse, I think. But it definitely had a terrible effect on Pacific Comics, which was an upstart comic book company in the early 1980s that put Skateman out. They probably considered that having someone like Neil Adams on their roster was going to be great for them. And unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. Lots of people comment that Pacific Comics might have been sunk by pallets and pallets full of unsold Skateman comics.
This is one of the most unique things about Queen's Comic Party is you get there and you chat and you talk with the vendors and you talk with some of the other people buying comic books. It's a really friendly atmosphere. You're telling stories about some other times you found comic books, or you're talking about what we should be reading, or you're pulling out something for another person and saying, here, this is what you're looking for. It's a really fun time at Queen's Comic Party. If you've never been to one and you're in around the New York area, take a trip. Billy does one once a month, and we have a schedule. Here's the schedule, what's coming up in 2025. So there's really no excuse. Take a trip up to New York. It's one of the best small conventions we've ever been to. We really think it's worth it to visit. You will walk away with some gems for some really, really crazy low prices.
And because everyone is so nice at Queen's Comic Party, when you're talking to them, they'll ask you if you're specifically looking for anything, and then they know what they have, so they'll be like, okay, I think that's here, or they'll say, I don't have that. Most of the time, they were like, I have that. I'm looking for Star Wars, so I say I'm looking for Star Wars, and they'll tell me where their Star Wars is if they have it, which still not a lot of Star Wars. And actually, one of the guys said that he brought a lot of Star Wars comics to New York Comic Con because he knows that there will be people looking for that there, but that he doesn't usually bring Star Wars to small conventions because not a lot of people collect them or look for them. So I guess I'm an odd one out.
Maybe that will be your odd one out because you're usually the only girl at the convention too. So
yeah, that too.
But Queen's Comic Party is definitely worth it. I know most of you watching have been to comic conventions before, and you have that vendor that always asks, how they can help you, and they're really not genuine about it, and they're just trying to sell you something. Queen's Comic Party is not like that. Everybody there is very friendly, and they're looking out. They want you to come back to the next one, and they want you to tell your friends and bring friends to the next one, so it grows and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They've been doing it for quite a while, and we've been going now for a couple of months. We try not to miss one.
And most of the time, the vendors at the smaller convention, and especially at Queen's Comic Party, multiple vendors were saying it, they want to get rid of their comics. They have too many comic books, and they want to get rid of what they have. So we'll talk about the deals when we're doing our haul.
Deals. All right, we know what you're all waiting for. You really came here to watch our haul. Stay till the end because we actually have a giveaway. We bought some comic books for you guys as well. So we are going to do another giveaway. We love buying some extra comics at Queen's Comic Party, so we can just, give them away to you guys. All you got to do is stay to the end and we'll tell you how you can win. So without any further ado, here is Cassidy's comic haul first, and then, oh, maybe she bought more than comics, and then my haul. So let's go.
So, this is my haul. My comic haul. It's a total of 4 comics. What did I get? So these were in the 50% off bin, so they're marked at $2, but they were $1. You might be asking, doesn't Chad have most of the Flash comics? He does.
It's dad to you, and yes, I do have most of them.
Well, not dad to everyone else. But what I'm going to do with these is cut them up. Cutting comics up. I'm going to use them for art.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I'm going to use them for art for making pieces for my dad.
And we will show them on upcoming shows.
So, not yet. I have a few ideas of what I want to make. I personally want to start making earrings for myself. Not that my dad would wear comic book earrings, but so
Maybe
dollar
we'll
bins.
give some away on future shows.
So dollar bins, I'm going to start getting more comics to make art. And a lot of people do it. You'll see it at conventions that people use the comics and put it in art. Second that I got is I got a Labyrinth comic, and I got number 3, and it says that it's a 3 comic series. So I'm going to hunt for number 1 and number 2. I am a big fan of Labyrinth. It's an amazing Jim Henson movie if you have not seen it. But I know that there's comics of them.
There are.
But I've never really seen them, so when I saw this, I was like, I need it. I want it. It's $1.
It was a Marvel limited series back in the 25th year. I think it's like 1983, something like that, if I remember correctly.
And then this is actually one that I do need in my collection. So I got Return of the Jedi number 3. It's a 4-part series. I forget what number I have, but I have one of them, so I'm looking for the other parts. It's marked at $3, but I basically got it for free because I bought something else from this vendor, and
what
then
else?
Well, I'm getting to that.
Sorry, I'm rushing.
But I bought something else from the vendor, and then he just was like, "Oh, I'll put in the comic book with it." So I bought an Agatha Harkness figure. It's when she was in WandaVision. If you watched Agatha all along, comment. I really fell in love with the series, and I love what they did with her character and with all the characters in that series. So even though this is the WandaVision figure, I do want to start getting more Agatha figurines in my collection because I have a lot of Scarlet Witch. I have like a Scarlet Witch shelf, so I need more Agatha Harkness stuff.
Cassidy is a collector of many things, including action figures. And
even though I don't have a basement of room to put stuff, most of my stuff is hidden away.
So that's it for your haul? Did you buy anything else?
Nope, that's it.
No. I, on the other hand, bought we went through a lot of dollar bins.
But I helped find a lot of these comics, so.
There is the haul from Queen's Comic Party in Brooklyn. We were there for quite a while, so I bought a couple of things. Cassidy said there was a lot more DC at this one than at past conventions we've been going to. We've noticed the shift from DC to Marvel, and then maybe it's shifting back. First up is V number 18. This is the last issue of the V series. Yes, V went 18 issues. I thought it was 3, but it actually went 18. I have the first 2. I thought I was only looking for 3. Now I'm looking for a whole bunch more. Green Lantern, these are all not $2, they're $1. Green Lantern, number 181. Cassidy found these. She knows I have Green Lantern. These are not on the list, but it has just to say Green Lantern, so she knows she looks for ones that have, cheaper covers, and this is one of them.
And the thing is, when we do see DC at other conventions, it's usually more recent stuff. We never really see the older stuff, so.
Plastic Man, number 20. This is the final issue of Plastic Man in the first DC run. It's from November 1977. I'm a big Plastic Man fan. I don't think he gets enough credit. He's a good character. He had his own show back in the 70s during this comic book run. Another comic book series I'm trying to finish.
Another one.
Captain Atom. Here's issue 50. I love the 1990s DC stuff. 51. DC Comics presents number 89. Superman teams up with the Omega Men. Another series that I'm trying to finish.
Another one.
Teen Titans. This is an on-again, off-again series. This is issue number 46, and this is our first key from the dollar bins. It's a dollar bin key. It's Dula Dent signs on to become one of the Teen Titans. She becomes a Teen Titan, Dula Dent. It's the first use also of this bullet logo. So they changed the logo to this. Prior to it, it looked, I don't know if I have one. Oh, it looked like this for a very long time. And then it went to that with some other ones in between it. There's a bunch of different DC logos that have been used.
And I know my dad collects Teen Titans, and I don't think I've ever seen the old Teen Titans at a smaller convention like this.
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 34. If you've been watching the show, you know I'll pick these up anytime I see them in the dollar bin.
I picked it up.
Or $3 bin. Cassidy found it. This will be the oldest issue of Jimmy Olsen that I have. This is from January 1959. That's old.
In the dollar bin.
In the dollar bin.
They had
it's
another.
In good condition too.
They had another Jimmy Olsen one, but
how much I love the
he already had it.
Kid at some point wrote on it. I enjoy that. Superman. This is issue 319. We're expanding our search to 35-cent comic books, not just 15 and 20 cent anymore. We will take a 35-cent comic. Here is one. Superman number 319. Superman number 322, but it's a special one. Cassidy, you know what's special about it?
Can I see it?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh wait, no, it's a Whitman. It's a Whitman.
It's a Whitman.
I knew.
There you go. So these were sold in comic book 3-packs, not the same. See, it doesn't have a DC logo on it. It has the Whitman logo on it. So you could buy these at, 5 and 10s or your local drugstore in 3-packs. Super Friends number 31, another series I'm trying to finish.
Another
that
one.
I've never seen in the dollar bins.
I've never seen these in the dollar. I rarely ever pay $1 for these. This is a great book for $1. Again, from one of my all-time favorite animated series. I watched this cartoon religiously when I was a kid. Saturday mornings, I woke up just to watch this. So this is another series that I'm trying to finish.
I also think most of the DC comics that we found came from the same vendor.
And I got issue 35 also. So that's 2 Super Friends comic books for $2. But wait, there's more. There's a third one. Super Friends number 45. Another one. There's Sinestro on the cover. That's the cartoon version of Sinestro.
Okay, and about most of these DC comics that we found, I'm the one that found them because if you go to small conventions, most conventions, you might notice that a lot of comic book vendors have stuff on the table and stuff on the floor. Now, no one likes looking through the floor bins.
I cannot, because then I can't get
Yeah, he can't. I don't like to either. I usually like actually sit on the floor and go through all of them, but I was the one looking through the floor comic books, and almost all of those comic books were ones that were in the floor boxes.
because no one else there could get on the floor. It's all older men.
No one else looks through the floor boxes, so
It's age discrimination when you put comic books on the floor.
This is your sign to look through the floor boxes if you can.
Or bring a younger person with you to look through the floor.
Yeah.
I can't look through the floor. That's the whole DC haul, which was nice. It's a nice size DC haul this time. And now let's look at some of the
And it was
books,
older stuff,
right?
too.
So we've been catching up on ROM. Here's ROM number 19. It's another series that we're going to be collecting. Not sure why, but it's been fun. Battlestar Galactica. This is issue number 2. I have issue number 1. I've actually bought one for me. I bought one for Brian, so I'll try to finish the series. I have no idea how long it runs, but it goes at least up to issue 3. So there's issue 2 and issue 3, and even on the back, you can buy Battlestar Galactica t-shirts.
Think you can still buy it?
Nope. Love the back covers. $4.99 for a t-shirt. How much is a t-shirt
In this
now?
economy?
Cassidy knows we're trying to finish New Mutants. Here's New Mutants 70. We're down to about 10 or so. Captain America. Anytime we see one that's older, we pick it up. $2.92. Mike Zeck cover. $2.62. $2.62. It's a great Mike Zeck cover. When I think about comic books as a kid, I think about these Captain America comics. I used to buy them at our local flea market. $3.31. There you go. Another good one. Avengers West Coast. I think I only need 2 issues left. 101. It gets a little towards the end. Still have to finish it. My OCD forces me to. X Factor number 12. This is key number 2. Again, it's a $1 bin find. The first appearance appearance of Autumn Rolfson, who becomes Famine. That's in the dollar bin. What do you find in a dollar bin? Here's a big one. Never thought I would ever buy any Journey into Mysteries. This is pre-Thor comic book. Journey into Mystery 98. This is key number 3. The first appearance and origin of the Human Cobra. The Human Cobra is right here. Is set to appear in Captain America 4 movie. I did not pay $8 for it. I got it much cheaper than that.
But not $1.
But not $1. But this is a great buy for... I know it's a little bit rough, but...
And talking to the vendor...
Still a great buy.
I mean, we were discussing how that character is going to be in the movies upcoming, and then the comic price is going to skyrocket, and you'll never be able to buy it. So it was a price we couldn't pass up.
Yeah, but he sold it to us perfectly, and he gave us a deal on it. 401, 430, and here's one of our big keys that we bought and got a ridiculously good deal on it. Avengers 19. This is key number 4. This is the first appearance of the Swordsman, and this is Hawkeye's origin. The Swordsman helped train Hawkeye. I love this comic cover. I remember as a kid seeing it, never actually owned it. This would be the first time. This was in what had happened was towards the end of the convention, somebody took all their bins and turned them into half-off bins. So this went from $40 to a low $20. That is a great price for this comic book. This is a big buy for me.
So also at these smaller conventions, stay there a bit long. We usually go early, but stay a bit longer because people will start calling out deals.
Yeah, and they certainly did. So that's the haul for our Marvel. But you know what comes next. At the end of every haul we do it. It's the Fantastic Four time of the haul. I did buy some Fantastic Four keys. Let's see what they are. This is a big one. Fantastic Four 20. This is key number 5. It's the first appearance of Molecule Man, the second appearance of the Watcher, and George R.R. Martin has a letter published in this. It is the first time he has ever published in his life. Does everyone know who George R.R. Martin is? He's the writer of Game of Thrones. He was a big comic book fan, and he has his letter published in this comic book, which is a big key. Molecule Man's supposed to appear in some upcoming Marvel movies, possibly Fantastic Four, because apparently someone's going to take his power, Doctor Doom. That's the rumor. So this one can also rock it up. You guys know how I feel about Fantastic Four comic books, trying to finish the whole run. Here's another big one put into it.
That's actually really interesting about the author of Game of Thrones.
It's not the only key, though. Here's Fantastic Four 55. This is one of those classic Kirby covers that everybody remembers from the Fantastic Four. So 2 under 100 at this convention makes it really worth it for me. But wait, not 2, 3. Captain Four 96 also. What a good deal. That's not how much it was. I bought these 2 together. It did not cost me what it says on the tag because I made a deal. Because I bought this one too. 98. That's 4 Fantastic Fours under 100. And it didn't cost me that much money. It was great deals. Fantastic Four 119. Key number 7. This is when the Black Panther changes his name to the Black Leopard. Do you know why he changed his name, Cassidy?
No.
Because at the time in the United States there was a political movement called the Black Panthers. They were violent, and Marvel did not want the Black Panther associated with this violent group, so they changed the name for a little while to the Black Leopard.
Huh.
So that's what makes this the key.
So when did they change it back?
Not shortly after. They didn't keep him like that for a while, for too long. I love the cover, John Byrne cover. Fantastic Four 262. We're getting close, guys. That number 1 is coming. Fantastic Four Annual number 18. This is key number 8. It's the marriage of Black Bolt and Medusa. I didn't realize it happened this late. This is also a John Byrne cover. I thought it happened much earlier than this. And our last comic book of the haul, Fantastic Four number 7. One of those confusing ones. Not sure what run it's from. Could be volume 2, could be volume 3. Don't know. But we're going after these 2. So for a buck, who could pass it up? There's the haul. My haul, Cassidy's haul. And as promised, at the end of this episode, we are doing a giveaway from Queen's Comic Party. We love picking up some extra books while we're there, just so you guys have a chance to own them. What you need to do is, you need to like this video, comment on this video. You have to be a subscriber. No subscriber, no comics. Here's what we're giving away. Right out of the gate, it's a big one. It's a Captain America 15 center, Captain America 150, another Captain America, another Captain America, New Mutants. Oh, it's ROM. It's big for us. It's going to be big for you now. This is going to make you collect it. So one of those rare time machine ones. This is about the movie. Justice League America. We threw some DC in there for you too. Another one, great cover. One of those variant covers. A Fantastic Four, of course. A Justice League of America. Well, we figured Teen Titans is coming back into our collection, so why not yours? And another one.
Another one.
And another
one.
Another one.
And some Ultimates. If you've been following newer comics, the Ultimate line from Marvel just came back, and it is huge. They've had issues in the top 10 in the last 3 months. So we figured we'd throw some, and finally Power Pack with Nightcrawler. So there you go. These can all be yours. All you have to do is comment below, say anything you want, say how much you love Collector's Confessions,
How much you love our hauls.
how much you love me and Cassidy do a video
What
together.
do you collect?
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you collect. Or just say, you know, you really like the channel. Also share this with a friend. Let them enter too. Maybe they can win for you. Keep an eye out for our future videos. We have this is probably our last haul video of the year. We're getting into Christmas time now. We're going to be a little bit busy. Really, not a lot of conventions during Christmas time because everyone is Christmas shopping and spending money on other people, not themselves. So this is probably our last haul video of 2024. But we have a huge schedule coming up for 2025. In a future haul video, we will go over our entire schedule of conventions we are planning on appearing at. Someone recently asked on one of our other videos. We're going to do that. We're going to tell you where you can find us. And if you ever see us at a show, come and say hello. We'll take a picture with you. We'll throw it in the video. We love hearing from people who like watching our videos. We really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, our last haul of 2024. Love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
We will see you in 2025. Collecting more comics. Cassidy promises to buy me Fantastic Four #1, so there you go. And Avengers #1. If you look back, we saw it. She's going to get me that too. So Christmas time should be good. See you next time.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!